Welcome to Cloud Expert channel. Today I'd like to talk about a totally different things, and I would like to help all of my friends, followers in YouTube with some basic questions. Day to day, what are we facing? Maybe if you are starting your career new, and let's say maybe you are freshly coming out of college and you are searching your position. Maybe you are searching for a job in IT industry, or maybe you want to secure your future in IT industry, or maybe you are existing working professional working with some legacy technologies like mainframe and other technologies, and you would like to change your stream. You would like to new technologies, or maybe you are aspiring to learn cloud technologies, or maybe you are bored with your existing work and you need a change, or maybe you are looking for a new job in the market, or maybe you want to start your career in the cloud computing. You heard about cloud, but you are not sure from where to start or how to start, or maybe you don't know how should you proceed. So also maybe you have an existing job, you are working and you are settled there, but you are looking for a promotion, or maybe you are looking for a pay hike. So if you have any one of the criteria, then you are at the right place. Today I think I'll be able to help you with some tips or some path that may take you to fulfill your desire, that may be able to help you to get your new dream. Now you may be asking, why me? Why should I learn from you? Or why should I listen you? Yes, that's a valid question. So before we'll start anywhere, let me give you a small introduction about myself, normally what I do or what I am doing. So I'll start with, I am a IT professional with more than 14 plus years of experience, and I am multi-cloud expert. So I have expertise in many cloud technologies. I'm working in cloud technologies for more than 5 years, architecting clouds. Also, I worked for major cloud providers, as well as I work for many customers, CMM5 level customers, and help them to build their architecture. I worked as a cloud architect, multi-cloud architect. Now, if I'll take 2 minutes or maybe a small introduction about my cloud exposure. I have 7x AWS certified. That means I have completed 7 AWS certifications. I also have 4 Azure certifications, and I am also 2 times Google Cloud certified. So you can understand the depth of my knowledge. I am not confined to any one cloud technology or any one cloud provider. I have expertise in all the cloud provider or the leading cloud providers. So I hope I'll be able to teach you, I'll be able to guide you. Now we'll briefly see what are the points that you are going to discuss today. So first, why cloud? That I will try to discuss, and after that, what are the different cloud options that is available in the market? Then, what are the benefits of clouds and why all the industry is suddenly tending towards the cloud? That we'll try to understand. After that, we'll move to who are the cloud providers in the market, and then from where to learn and what to learn. And then, if you are thinking how to start or where to start, I'll try to cover that point also. So hopefully I'll be able to cover all your questions currently you have. So I request you, please sit tight and be with me to the entire duration of the video. And if you have any doubt, any questions, please let me know in comments. If you have any suggestion, please let me know in comments. I'll be happy to help you. Now let's get started. First, I would like to tell about different cloud providers. Or before I'll go further, we have to understand what are the different cloud way, or how you can, or what is all about cloud. I would like to explain that first. Let's say This is on-premise data center. Now, when I'm talking about data center, and if you don't know what is data center, I would like to explain that one also. So as you know, to run any company, you have to maintain multiple servers. Maybe there would be email servers to send the communications and all. You know, every company has their own domain. Maybe they need servers to host their website. Maybe they need servers to host their databases. So these are some necessary servers, that is minimum they need to host their entire application, entire website, right? On top of that, they might have, if they are working with sophisticated technologies, they might have other servers also. So data center means it's a location where all the servers are maintained. Like in our day to day work, we may be working with a desktop or maybe working with a laptop. But when it comes to a website hosting, it's not working in a standalone. And you might know the concept of virtual machines, right? So there are infrastructure that in data center that is available. What it will do, it will take a big machine, or it will take a big computer, it will split into small logical chunks such that every chunk will work or function as an individual system or individual servers based on the requirement, based on the memory, based on the code. And now let's assume that for a particular company, let's say company A, B, or any company, they have a data center. Now, the moment you will install a data center, there are some infrastructure you have to maintain. Like to maintain that infrastructure, you have to put power. You have to maintain the power supply. You have to maintain the cooling system. You have to maintain IT staff who will be able to maintain your application. If something went wrong, they will be able to repair that one. It may be hardware level, it may be software level, right? On top of that, you need security guards. So these are some costs that you have to bear, and you can't cut on those costs. Right now, on top of the data center, you may take that cloud infrastructure from existing cloud provider. And how it will work, that entire cloud architecture will work only for you. You have a data structure, or you have an on-premise data center. In that data center, you are building your cloud technologies, or you are building your cloud infrastructure, and then this infrastructure is only for you. Nobody else is sharing. But what you have to do, you have to purchase those hardwares, you have to maintain electricity, there are other admin costs that you have to maintain. So now you can understand it's a big investment, right? So this is private cloud. Instead of buying individual system, they can buy a big system or big machine, and then they can segregate into small logical blocks that will work as a virtual machine, and they can set up their infrastructure or server based on their need. Now let's see who are the private cloud providers. You can purchase your hardwares or purchase your infrastructure from HPE or from IBM, maybe from Red Hat, and the famous one is VMware. Now, what are the challenges in this data center? So, as I told you, you have to maintain all the infrastructure. If something will go wrong, maybe some core got failed, or maybe some hardware got failed, you have to purchase that one. And as you all know, purchasing any hardware for a company is not a small task. They have to submit a purchase order, they have to sanction some money, some budget, it will take some time, they have to take quote. So it's not like that today, if that system, or if you need to expand your capability, it's not like that tomorrow that system will come and you will start building on top of that server. Even if, I don't know if you have experience or not, even to change a memory or RAM, sometime it takes days or maybe weeks. So now let's say you are running with a hardware infrastructure and you have to expand your capabilities. Now imagine how much time it's required. Maybe when you need that one, you may not have that capability. So you have to plan well advanced, and if you are not planning properly, either you may over provision, or either you may spend a lot what you don't need and all the infrastructure is sitting idle, or if you under provision, when you need that infrastructure you don't have anything, and as a result your infrastructure or application is suffering. Now to overcome from that, the second option is public cloud. Public cloud is, there are many public cloud providers just like Amazon, Azure, Microsoft Azure, Google. You don't have to maintain any physical data center. Everything will be maintained on their data center. That means you don't have to buy any hardware, you don't have to install any security system, you don't need to think about power, cooling system, or physical building, their security and everything. Everything will be taken care by the cloud provider. Now you may be thinking how I am going to access that one. So they will host that cloud platform, and what you have to do, you have to go and set up your environment, right? The only thing is that for your private cloud, that entire infrastructure was dedicated to you. But for public cloud, the entire infrastructure is not for you only, because Azure or Amazon, they will not make a data center for your company only. They will have a centralized data center, and all other company, they will take service from them. But it is entirely secured. It not like some other company will come and access your applications or access your data. It will be logically segregated, although the servers will be hosted from same location, but it will be logically segregated. And what you will do, you will host your application such that if you need more infrastructure, if you need more hardware, you don't have to think for buying. You just provision the servers and the server will be ready maybe in 2 minutes. So now you can understand, if you are in a private cloud infrastructure, to provision you have to plan accordingly. If you want to increase your capacity, then you have to wait for that capacity to be available. Whereas if you will go to public cloud, you don't have to guess your capacity. You can increase or decrease based on your requirement. I have one example to explain that in a more better way in a later slide. So that is the second option. And who are the provider? There are major provider are Amazon Web Service or AWS, Microsoft Azure, and Google. So these are the three main provider for public cloud. Then there are another one concept that is called hybrid cloud. And why that hybrid cloud? Let's say in on-premise you have one legacy system, maybe a mainframe system. That system is critical, but that system is not required for many users. Maybe a small set of users is using that one, or maybe you do not have the application code for that one. You may not be able to migrate that one. In that case, what you will do, what you have to do, you have to maintain that server, because each and everything can be migrated. It will need associated cost, or maybe in your company you have some requirement that data should be in your data center. You cannot take that data out of the data center. There are different requirement is there based on the regulatory, right? So in those case you can maintain a both way. That means all the required or all the mandated infrastructure you can host in your data center. What it will do, you maybe plan for a lesser amount of capacity. You don't have to plan for the entire data center and all. Maybe it's a small area inside your office, and on the same time you can utilize the public cloud. And how you are going to communicate? You are going to communicate between that either with a VPN or a dedicated line. So this type of infrastructure is called hybrid cloud. That means you are accessing both public cloud and private cloud simultaneously, as if this is entire single infrastructure for you. So this is the main three cloud infrastructure. We started with private cloud, then public cloud, and if you are trying to use both the model, it's called hybrid cloud. I hope now this gives you a small idea about different cloud hosting infrastructure. Now let's see why we should move for the cloud and why all the companies they are tending towards cloud. What are the advantages? Let me take one real life example. We all know that during a particular time of a year there will be a peak sale. Just like if I'll take an example of United States America, we have here Black Friday, we have here Cyber Monday, right? So their normal sale volume is very high, and all the online websites it has a huge number of traffic. So let's say your current on-premise infrastructure has two web servers and two database servers. And why two? Because maybe one is sufficient, and just for redundancy you have, if one server will goes down, your application can be served from another one server. So all company they are maintaining like that, they are creating duplication just for disaster recovery. That is what we are called DR servers, right? And sometimes most of the DR servers are kept idle. Now, for the sake of simplicity, let's think I have two web servers, two database server, that is sufficient for my regular load. So if you see in this graph, my regular load is around 200 visitors per month. This is very realistic example. Now, during that sale event, November, December, when I have Black Friday, when I have Cyber Monday, when I have year-end sales or maybe Christmas sales, that time traffic will pick up, right? So what it will happen, since the traffic will be more than double, maybe three times, maybe four times, your existing infrastructure will not able to hold that load, and as a result, you will see either the application is not available, website is not available, it's very slow, it's not working. You are trying to place an order, it is not working, it is timing out. We all face these kind of challenges, right? So let's say that company is face that challenge in this year, and as a result all those existing customer, there will be lot of dissatisfaction. They will be angry because you want to also get that sale, right? You want to buy that product, but if you are not getting, maybe you are trying for three times, four times, but you are not able to place the order, automatically you will be angry, you will leave some bad feedback. So that will affect company's reputation, company's business. Now that is what company can do. They are thinking, okay, maybe next year they plan properly and they purchase two more servers, one additional web server and one database server before the Thanksgiving. As a result, let's say next year, thanks they purchase that one and it covered. So since I have the additional infrastructure, my Thanksgiving sale is over. Now imagine after December, starting from Jan, when the entire infrastructure will come back or entire traffic will come back to normal, what it will happen? You already purchased that server, you already installed, and that server will be idle in your data center. You cannot use that one, and it will be used again next year November. So for the almost 80 to 90% of the time, your server will sit idle. So that is a bad investment. You have to invest that one only to cover that 2 months, and most of the time it is sitting idle without giving any return of revenue. But now let's try to think this condition in cloud architecture. The moment you move to a cloud environment, let's say you have two provision, two servers and two databases, and now when your traffic will take peak or when your load is increasing in cloud, there is a concept of auto scaling. Automatically new instances will start launching. As your load will grow, more and more infrastructure will automatically add to your infrastructure. More and more servers, databases will be add to your infrastructure, and that will be in minutes. You don't have to provision anything, you don't have to buy any infrastructure. So that is everything for you, and all those infrastructure will be added, or the servers, databases, it will be added. If your database or if your load is going more and more, it will add more and more, right? Now after the sale over, when you don't need, when your application load is reduced, what it will do, it will automatically go away, and again you can come back to your original infrastructure. So here you can understand, once your application need, it will automatically grow. When there is no demand or maybe traffic less, it will automatically go away, and you don't have to gauge your capacity. That is the biggest advantage in cloud. If you don't need, just throw it away, and you don't have to pay. What you are doing, you are paying only what you are using, instead of you are purchasing upfront. So if I'll take an example, let's say you move to a different city, and in that city you have to arrange your accommodation. Just like if you want to launch a new website, you have to arrange for infrastructure. Now there are two options: either you want to buy the house, or you want to rent a house. If you want to buy a house, what it will happen, both the approach has many pros and cons. If you will buy a house, you have to pay upfront a huge amount of money. Maybe you have to take loan. Now it may happen after buying that house, maybe you have to move again. In that case, what you will do with that house? But if you will go in a rental, what you are paying, let's say you are staying for 1 month, 2 months, you are paying only the amount you are using. So this concept is like that: instead of investing on physical infrastructure, you are renting that infrastructure from the cloud provider. Hope this concept is clear. Now let's see what are the so-called advantages in cloud. First is cost saving. So if I'll continue with my previous example, you can understand that how much cost you can save. There are two type of concept. One is capex and one is opex. So what is capex? Capex is capacity expenditure. That means if you want to start a new business, you have to spend a certain amount upfront. Let's say if you want to set up a data center or launch a website, you have to buy hardware, you have to buy the building, you have to buy the land, you have to arrange for security, and everything needs money. That means you have to pay upfront, you have to spend upfront. That cost is called capex, or capital expenditure. Now to maintain that, you have to spend money in every month. That is the recurring. Maybe you have to maintain for power. Every month you have to pay the power bill, or maybe you have to pay the salary of all those employees who are working. So these are operational expenses. Operational expenses, or opex, you cannot avoid. Anyhow, you have to pay if you are going to run your business, right? In cloud, that concept is the capex is almost zero. You don't have to pay anything upfront most of the cases. That means you are not buying the hardware, you are not buying the land to build a data center. What you are doing, you are renting that infrastructure. So you will pay as you want. And another one thing, you don't have to gauge your capacity. Most of the time in normal company, normal architecture, what we are doing, how much we need, we are buying more than that. Maybe I need a 10 GB RAM, right? In that cases, what we are buying, we are always buying 15 GB, 5 GB extra if it requires in future. But most of the cases, that extra capacity is sitting idle without giving any return. Compared to cloud, you can see that what you need, you are using that one only, you are paying for that one only, you are not paying anything extra. No return or no investment is sitting idle there. That is the biggest part, and that is the biggest cost benefit for cloud infrastructure. Second option is pay as you go. As I told you, if you are using any server or databases, let's say for 2 days, you are paying for 2 days. And even better, if you are, there are some billing that is on seconds or even minutes, If you are using for 2 minutes, you are paying for only 2 minutes. Can you imagine that flexibility with a physical infrastructure? If you buy one hardware, if you buy one server, that is for you. And you all know that it may be damaged in 10 days, 15 days, or maybe after the warranty period. But here, if that infrastructure is gone, or if that infrastructure is faulty, you don't have to pay anything. Cloud provider will replace for you. You will always get the infrastructure what you need. And you, let's say you need something for 10 minutes, you only pay for 10 minutes. Let me take another one example. We all know when you are working in company, our testing environment is not at per production, because for testing nobody is spending that much infrastructure, that much money what the production infrastructure is. And most of the time when you are doing the testing in maybe a UAT region or maybe in a development region, when you are trying to migrate that one into production, we may face different challenges because both the infrastructure are not identical. Why you are not doing? Because we have to provision upfront, right? In pay as you go model, if you need that one, you can replicate the production environment exactly same configuration, maybe for 2 days. Use it for 2 days, pay only for 2 days, and then you don't need dispose that one. You are not going to get the bill. But in physical infrastructure, if you buy that hardware, buy the server, you have to maintain for the life cycle of that server. So this is the main difference, paying upfront versus pay as you go. Third option is availability. So availability means, let's say you have today some infrastructure in your on-premise, and tomorrow you think that your current website is gone viral. Maybe you need some more capacity. When you need that capacity, you have to put some more time to buy that one, to set up that one, and it's not immediate. Or maybe that demand is temporary. When you will purchase that server or when the infrastructure is available, it may happen that demand is no longer there. There was a temporary traffic in your system. Maybe some product was very popular and that sale was there for a brief period of time, maybe for 10 days. And there is, it's not brainer that for 10 days you will buy a hell lot of infrastructure. In cloud, whenever you need that, the infrastructure will be available to you 24 by 7 or maybe in minutes. Let's say I need two more servers. I can add two more servers in in my infrastructure or existing infrastructure maybe in 2 minutes. That you cannot imagine in physical. Then the fourth advantage is scalability. Scalability means today let's say you want to plan with two, right? And tomorrow what you want two more servers. Add it. Day after tomorrow you don't need, remove it. So you can scale as your requirement. If suddenly there is a huge requirement, you will be able to add the infrastructure in your existing workload very easily. If you don't need, just remove it. You don't have to pay. This kind of scalability you cannot get in your physical or private cloud. Fourth is flexibility. There are many ways, or you are here, you are not bound. So let's say today you think that you purchase some hardware, right? Maybe let's say you purchase some Windows operating system, and tomorrow you are thinking, no, maybe I want to move to a Linux. So what will happen? All your purchased Windows licenses, it will be with you, it will be sitting idle. You have no option. If you want, you cannot use that one, right? So that is a waste of money. That means whatever you will purchase, you have to use that one for that duration, otherwise you have to pay extra. In cloud you have that flexibility. Let's say you provision something and tomorrow you are thinking, no, that's a wrong decision, I don't want, just throw it, build from scratch, and only pay what you have used. And the last is elasticity. As I told, whenever you need, you have that one. Or maybe let's say in physical infrastructure, what it will happen when that data center has gone away, or maybe there is a fault in the data center, you have no infrastructure. To build that one, you have to think for another one location. Here in elasticity, that is the main feature of cloud. When you need that one, if you need extra, you can buy that one, you can add that one. If you don't need, remove that one. So these are the some advantages cloud is providing. That is why every company is currently tending towards cloud. Now next, here I will try to explain that what are the ways and why you should learn cloud and why you should go for certifications. So first you understand that to be in the market or to be in the competitive market when everybody is going on the cloud direction, you also should learn cloud technology. There are different cloud providers out there. Major are there, as I told, AWS or Amazon Web Service, Azure, Microsoft Azure, and Google Cloud or GCP. No matter what are the cloud technology you learn, so the basic concept is same, but their terminology will be different, their infrastructure will be different, their portal will be different, but basic concept is same for all. So if you know one cloud, it will not be very difficult for you to get that knowledge on other cloud technology. Now, why you should do a certification? First of all, how much information or knowledge or expertise you have, unless and until you have a certification from that authority, nobody will give value. Believe my word, without that certification, new employer or even your existing employer will not think that you are compatible. So that is why today's world certification is very much important. And now, if you are doing the certifications, it will be a win-win situation for you also. The moment you will do that certification, you will get that credential, your resume will be more appealing. Whoever will try to hire you, that will be beneficial for them also. Since you have that certification, they will be able to rely on you. Okay, if you are saying that I am expert in AWS, I have worked this many years, I have this certification, so they will rely since you have that certification from the given authority. Now, in certification, you can see this is the current AWS certification as of June 2021. And in these certifications, you can see there are different levels. Now, I'll try to explain from where you should start or what you should think. So, if I'll take this block, they have three different levels. One is foundational, second level is associate, third is professional. Again, there is no rule that you have to take these all by this chain. Whatever the certification you need, you can go ahead and take that. So it's just like pick, random pick. If you want to take the professional, you can go ahead and directly take that one, but that is not recommended, because the moment you will go from foundational to professional, the complexity and the difficulty level will be increased. For foundational, it is very, you can understand that what AWS recommendation. So this is very easy. Associates will be difficult than foundational, and professional will be much more difficult. And believe me, AWS solution architect professional or DevOps professional, this is one of the finest technical certification in today's job market. If you have that certification, you can claim 20% hike from your existing job what you are getting. And now there are some certification that is specialty. So if I'll take one example, foundational means here you are learning a very small part, only basic. You may not need hands-on, but my recommendation would be please do hands-on as much as you can. If you are not using only theoretical knowledge, may be able to help you to pass that certification, but it will not help you to work. Your main target should be certification just to prove your knowledge, not to get the certification. Because in your day-to-day work, you have to do the work. If you are saying that I am cloud expert, you have to go ahead and do that work. If your employer is hiring you as a cloud expert, they will expect you that you can work independently, and that confidence will come only when you have working experience. So if you want to start with AWS thread, you can start with a cloud practitioner. I would say, and I would recommend you to start with that one. It will have two benefits. First of all, it will give you one experience how the AWS certifications are. It will give you a environment, okay, or stage you can set up your expectation. Second one is associate. There are different associate based on your role. If you want to be a developer, then they have that AWS certified developer. If you want to be system administrator, they have the SysOp administrator. And if you want to be on the architect, then they have that solution architect. And now once you cleared that associate level, you can go for professional. So this is the recommended way. First take the practitioner, then solution architect associate, then professional. But if you want to directly take that associate or professional, there is no mandate. You can take that one. Last year also AWS had that mandate to appear for a professional certification. You must have an associate, but that also AWS removed that limitations. So now you can directly go ahead for a professional. So you can understand professional, you need huge amount of knowledge. It is difficult and you need to know almost all. Now there are 5 specialty. So this certification list is sometimes changing. Some days back we have Alexa also certification that AWS removed recently. So as of I am recording this video, they have total 5 specialty certifications. Specialty means you need a in-depth knowledge but on a very small area, only particular that one. If you want to go for a database specialty, only you need to know all the AWS database technologies but in very depth. So these are all different level of certifications from AWS. Now let's move to Azure. So here you can see Azure has 3 different segregation. So first one is, and everywhere they have the fundamental. Again, these fundamentals are not mandatory, but for Azure, if you want to take any expert certifications, you have to first complete the associate one. Without completing associate, you cannot take the expert. That limitation is there for Azure. Now Azure has 3 parallel associates. One is for Azure Fundamental, where you have just like AWS. So they have, if you want to be a developer, or if you want to be a system administrator, or if you want to be architect, you have to start with AZ 900. I would say it's a very easy one. You can try that one, and if you go to Microsoft website, they are giving that certification for free. There is a training, Microsoft training. If you will complete that one, I'll try to give that link in the description such that you will be able to use that, utilize that one. They are arranging those free certifications training, and after that they are giving the voucher such that you can take. And then based on that, if you want to be DevOps associate or DevOps engineer expert, there are 2 ways. Either you can complete that AZ204 and then AZ400, or you can complete AZ104 then AZ400. So either this route or this route. And for 304 solution architect expert, there is another one certification you have to do. So for solution architect expert, you have to complete AZ303 and AZ304. So this is for the normal track. Now they have specialized for data fundamentals. This is again data scientist, big data, that level, database administrator. So this is mostly related to databases and big data. So here DP900, that is the fundamental. This is not AZ900, so this is DP900, and they have 3 associate. One is DP100, DP200, DP300. But for data engineer, actually they have 2 exams you have to pass or you have to appear, then only you can get the Azure Data Engineer Associate. But if you want to take the Azure Data Scientist Associate, you have to take only one, DP100. But if you want to go for Azure Data Scientist, you have to first take 200 and then 201. If you complete both the exams successfully, then only you will get this badge. And this is one thing I would like to share. So these are the badges that you will get after completing the certification, what you can put on your resume, and they will give that badge with the validity. Every certification will comes with validity. For AWS, AIMNI certification, that is valid for 3 years. If you complete, let me go back. If you complete the associate level, you don't have to renew the cloud practitioner. If you will renew the associate, the cloud practitioner will be automatically renewed. Now, if you have professional, let's say solution architect professional, and you went via this route, took the practitioner, then associate, then professional, in that case, first solution architect, that will also be renewed automatically. Cloud practitioner also will be renewed automatically. You don't have to maintain separately. Similarly here, Azure gives 2 year validity. AWS gives 3 years, Azure gives 2 years. So after 2 years, you have to again renew. Let's say I took AZ900, AZ204 and AZ400, and now after 2 years, if I will renew AZ400, all these three will be automatically renewed. I don't have to appear for all three. Hope that clarifies. And the third track is AI Fundamental, Artificial Intelligence. So this, they have AI 900, that is the starter. After that they have AI 100, and then they have a specialty AZ 220. So this is for the AI track, this is for the data analytics and database, and that is for the regular track. So from this diagram, you can understand what are the Azure certification. I would recommend you to start from the fundamentals. And then let's move to Google Cloud or GCP certifications. So GCP certification, just like we have fundamentals or the foundational for AWS and Azure, so Google also has that one, digital cloud leader. So this is their foundational or the basic level of certification. After that, they have only one associate level certification, that is Google Cloud Certified Cloud Engineer Associate. That is, they have only one associate, one foundational. After that, they have bunch of professional certifications. So for Google, there is no rule that you can take these. That is not like that. So these are all independent professional certifications. But there is a pattern. Let's say if you want to start like that, start with the foundational, then associate, and then you can see if you want to complete with DevOps. So this is the track. You start that associate, after that take the cloud developer professional, and then cloud DevOps engineer. So this will be one track completed. Similarly, if you want to go for network security, you have to take that associate, and after that the network engineer professional, and then cloud security professional. So like that way, if you take these three, it will be a complete thread for you. But again, if you want to take only one, you can easily take. But my recommendation would be start with the foundation, not for all. If you want to take any provider currently in market, Azure, current in market, AWS is the leader, followed by Azure, and then Google. So choose any one of the provider. I would say start with the foundational level. If you follow my other videos, there I have mentioned that how you should prepare for that one, what are the materials you should look for, from where you should get the training, that I have covered in another one video. You can check that one also to get more details. So this is all for today's. I hope that was informative for you. Thank you very much. Stay safe, and please do not forget to subscribe our channel such that you will get all those notifications everybody and automatically. Bye bye. Take care.